Hello, hello, hello. Are we rolling? I think we're rolling. Hello everyone, Edward18 here. I'm just going to be trying to do another stream today. And just going to send this link out to certain websites for advertising for people to come in. So this will be just a minute or two that I will be gone. But in the meantime, enjoy this lovely Sonic Sega Saturn Sonic 3D Blast music. I'll be right back. There we go. Put that there. Alright, and then go over here. Alright, and I think I've got things more or less set up. So let's step in here, see how this is going. Okay. Think I got things good there. And now I'm back here. Oh. This presents a bit of an issue. Okay. Oh, there we go. I can resize this here. That makes it a lot easier to see things. Mainly the chat on the side of the screen. Okay. That's there. This is here. Let me just make sure. Alright, that's working. Okay, so hello everybody, and welcome to Edward18's latest stream. I haven't done much in the way of really figuring things out on this computer. It is a pretty busted computer, but I'm still gonna try to utilize it for streaming at times. But since we don't really have much set up on here, I'm just going to be doodling here. And then whatever happens from here on happens. Where shall our adventures take us today? Just the drawing board or further beyond? We shall see. To get things started, well, I already started drawing this. Oh, I know what I can do. I could do, like... Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do, my idea that I had for back when I came up with a design for Taraga Dume from Bionicle. Let's see here. Can't quite remember all the details on him. Actually, do I have the sketchbook with him in it? Let me check. Okay. Yeah, it'd be this one. Alright, let me get this set up. Okay, here's the page. Alright. Well, we are going to draw Taragadume, one of the least shown characters in Bionicle, of the characters that, like, actually do stuff. Yeah, I was never too big on how they handled the elder aspect as Bionicle went on, but design-wise, they still look like robot old people, so you still have that sense of true elderliness to them, at least. Shrink this down. There we go. Oh. This is a very delightful pastry that I have here. I took off a part from this pastry I got when I walked out to go get groceries this morning. Yeah, I usually go down to the plaza at least once a week to get groceries. I take a walk there behind the high school around here. Then that puts me out over at Rookwood. Sometimes I'll stop in and take pictures of books at the bookstore there. Did that today, actually. And if anyone's curious, you can look and see what selection was there on the Discord. Don't know if you can hear the music or not. Let me check. I think it's loud enough. Let's raise it a tiny bit. There we go. Yeah, Taragadume's head here is a bit further back on his body, so I'm probably going to move it up. Which I will do now. Select this. There we go. Select. Delorted. And there we go. Let's move it over a tiny bit. That's not moving over. Click it. There we go. Now it's moving. Mobile head. Hello, Daniel. How are you doing today? We are in the midst of drawing a Bionicle character. And listening to Sonic 3D Blast music. Hopefully it's not too quiet or too loud. As long as you can hear me and hear the music, that is all that I really prioritize when it comes to the audio of these streams. Now let's see here. I had the pelvis, like... Yeah, it was like this for some reason. I'm working off of concept art that I have of him from one of my sketchbooks here on the side. Never really did finish the look for him, so this is partly me cobbling things together as it goes. Really, it's the concept art sheet for Makuta. I was trying to nail down the design for how I would make him look if I were to do like a comic or something of Bionicle. Oh, well that sounds delightful, Daniel. I actually got some sort of burgers from the grocery place today. I put up pictures of the travel back from there on the Discord. Or maybe it was video, I forget. But I got these black bean burgers, and then this vegetable burger thing that I'd never seen, so I thought I'd try it. Have not had them yet, but I do have some potatoes I can fry along with them. Yeah, I've got Turaga Dume on Makuda's concept art page here because it's supposed to be one of Makuda's forms, since he's a shapeshifter, and since he impersonates him during the Metru Nui saga. The main thing that would, like, really differentiate the real Dume from the fake one would probably be the eyes. I'd have, like, the visor area be all black with red pupils. Which I'd probably change that to a slightly lesser color when it's the real Dume. I always called him Turaga Doom, from how his name was spelled before the movie came out and heard it spoken. That's how it is for a lot of characters before you hear what they're actually pronounced as in media. Of course, you got the classic Toa feet for his feet. Dume was a bit odd to me in the toy set because the original Turaga, they had completely different bodies from the toys of the villagers. But for him, he had the same body as the toys of his villagers. It was kinda awkward. He was sort of felt like a mega villager by comparison, whereas the original Turaga designs were more of like cobbled together elderly people designs compared to the shorter but more built villagers. Oh, that's right, I gave him his little... I wanted to keep some of the air of regalness that he has from his little tunic in the movie, so I had like this cape that I gave the design. There we go. Just get his little wing kind of feather thing going to his dress thing here. In the movie, it's more of just these robes that drape over his shoulders, but I wanted to make him stand out more. Then you got the little heart power source thing there. That's not just something they do in Bionicle, that's a very standard way to show, like, a mechanical character having life, is to include a part of the body that their interior light shines out of. And then, if you kill them, you can turn the light off and make it all sad. It's a very easy, standard way to go about doing mechanical type of characters. And since they're mechanical, you can kill as many as you want to. The sensors will not stop you at all. Or they'll stop you a lot less, as long as it's not, like, viscerally violent and brutal. And even then, Transformers gets away with quite a bit in their shows. Rest in peace, Blur and Thrust. Being smashed to death is never a pleasant thing to see. You can make a case for Blur being alive and surviving that with external material after the show, but in the show itself, he never comes back, so I always think of him as just dead there. Oh, and I never make the Bionicle characters have, like, just normal eyes like that. I always make them like this to make it feel a bit more alien. That's what I do with a number of mechanical characters, even in my own, like, comics and stuff sometimes. Barbot has normal looking eyes. Actually, if I remember right, Barbot has more of Krillin eyes, because they're like that, instead of having the entire thing enclosed. But when it comes to the eyes, part of it is stylistic, artistic design, and part of it is just whatever works with the type of character you're making. You could say it's because it's a robot that it has that non-human type of design to the eye. Or you could say it's because it's a cartoon character. Either one works. That is a very poor Dume compared to how he looks in the sketchbook page that I'm looking at. But that was where I had a pen and pencil, and I draw infinite paper and pencil, and I draw infinitely better with a paper and pencil when compared to digital. Digital's fine, but it does not have that element of physicality that the paper that you can actually turn and adjust while you're working on it has. Ding, ding, ding. And this program and this computer specifically are not the best with this stylus. I'd get a new computer, but I do not have money, so I cannot do that. Primarily, I do work on the Windows 7 computer when I do stuff, but that cannot stream, so that is not an option for me on these videos. Yeah, he was getting a bit too muscular looking. He's not decrepit enough. He's still a bit muscular feeling to me. He needs to have more of an arch to his form. Let's take out his stomach. Alright. Let's do this. And then bend him back slightly. Ding, ding. I'll settle with this. Not the best Dume, but whatever. It's Dume. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, I should show at least one of his arms coming out from under the cloak. The actual, like, figure is smaller than the shoulder pads would leave the viewer to believe. Then he's got his staff. And I always give the Matoran type characters in Toa and stuff 3 fingers, because it's working more off of the how the Tohunga toys from McDonald's looked, as well as the old Toa hand that had, like, this to it. Never really understood. What I interpreted that as is that is 2 fingers, and then the 3rd finger is one that they just simply couldn't do because there wasn't enough room to add it. So I always think of the Matoran race, if you want to call Turaga, Tohunga, Matoran, Toa, all of them one thing. I just always thought of them as having 3 fingers by default. So I always draw them with that. Down, bottom. Alright. Not going to be fancy and elaborate on this staff. We're just going to... What should I put for the staff? Oh, I know. I'll make a, we can have Dume holding up a streaming staff if I make it bigger. Stream. Yeah, that's just... Whoa.
Don't think you have the time to go back to school.
I did not ask for an ad. Shut up. Sonic 3D Blast. No, not that. Not that. Go here. Not that one. Go here, and maybe Dish. There we go. Back to music. I do love Sonic 3D Blast music. It feels like it should be Sonic 4 music-wise. Okay. Let's get back to our streaming staff Turaga here. I kind of want to show what I've made of my, like, remake of the first comic, but I'm not going to, despite my desire, because I do not want to spoil things. I will be a good creator. Nope, nope, nope. Get out of that. Okay, there we go. Readjust the stream words. Alright, and now we can make a little plaque thing to put it on. What I need to do... shrink him down. Because he has taken up a lot of the page here. And Dume does not deserve that much recognition. There we go. Down. Yeah, I do prefer the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive music for 3D Blast when compared to the Saturn version. The Saturn version looks beautiful, but in terms of the music, even though a lot of it is nice, if you notice, it's really all just the main theme of the game, but remixed in different ways for every level. The Genesis version has, like, actual different tracks. And they're all wonderful to listen to. Alright, we should probably give him an arm over here so he's not just a one-armed character. Come on. Come on, there you go. Alright, that'll be the first of our little doodles here. And let's shrink them down a tiny bit more. I have a bunch of treats over here from the Whole Foods store in the plaza. Alright, now what to draw next? Boom. How's about a little Doko over here? Doko Rapilzo, the hero of Edward18's comics. Or Warahi, which is what he is called on DeviantArt. Yeah, the Maria Robotnik sprites that I animated, what I did for those was I had to, like, shrink thing. I had to work at, like, where is it? Crop. I had to work at, like, this size for when I was doing the Maria. So, all of this, when you work with sprites the size of, like, Sonic Advance, this is what you have to contend with, is, like, this zoomed in and stuff. And I guess to show what I'm talking about, if I can look it up, hang on a sec. Down, boom, 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 boom. Go here, Maria. Actually, I don't even need to, like, copy and paste it. I could just... Come on. Okay, over here. Alrighty. Oh, it's not going to show. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's my DeviantArt. There she is. This is the thing I was talking about. That's, I made that for my Project Shadow fan game idea, which I've worked on periodically at times for, like, assets and stuff over the years. Which is all of this stuff. Yep, all of that. That's the majority of what I got made for it. Obviously, never have time to work on it, but if I did, I guarantee there'd be far more to show. As it is, that still took a ton of work to do, but that's neither here nor there. Let us return back to the current things being worked on, shall we? Which would be Doko over here. Yeah, Doko's always a bit of a happy hero. The latest page I was working on of the comic is page 8 of the remake of the first comic. I got that finally all painted up and inked and everything. I think I put a picture of what I was working on one of the recent nights at work between taking cars down up on the Discord. Yeah, I think Daniel was there, because I think I remember him saying he can't wait to see it. That is the page where Doko meets his two friends, Tesley and Mech. Yeah, some of the dialogue is a bit different from how it is in the original version of the first comic, but I think it's for the best, considering there is a lot from the first comic in particular that is just garbage to me. Panel-wise, layout-wise, everything was so not good compared to how the comics are now. I am so happy to be going back and redoing things in that. Oh, wait. Hold on. Ooh, that was close. I didn't realize I didn't have the laptop plugged in. It was going to die. Yeah, the screen just got dark and I saw that it was like on 20% power. And it drains really fast when it is not hooked up. Well, crisis averted. Dun 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 bum bum. So, anyone out there been doing anything today? All I've done mostly is go to get groceries and looked at books at the bookstore. And now I'm here, because I figured, well, I have things that I should do, but I also want to see how things are going with the streaming equipment. Sadly, there's no games that I can play on this computer. Things are not really set up for that here. Things are set up for me to have snacks, though. And for this, lay out where things would be. There's where the nose would be. Alright, got the nose, that'll put into place everything else. And we'll just have Doko all happy and stuff over here. I was thinking about, like, an adventure of, that would get him warped into, like, another universe yesterday. Like, maybe, like, Has-Been Hotel or something. Just all the craziness that would erupt from that kind of scenario. Down, bum. Oh, well, writing is never a bad thing, Bowyer. I used to write fanfics sometimes, though all of them are pretty what I would consider probably not great, but it is something that helped to sort of, I guess, shape how I tell stories. The longest one I think I ever did was like 500 pages or something, but with how old it is nowhere near as well written as some of my later ones. I think that one was a Transformer one. Yeah, I rarely had time to do fanfics as the years went on with everything else that I create. But the one that I always thought of sort of as a fanfic was the fan comic I was doing of the mega crossover of Awesome. Always loved coming up with stuff for that. Yeah, there's rules that people follow for, like, writing and stuff, and adventures and creation and all that, but at the end of the day, the main thing that helps you, like, improve on your craft is just actually doing the stuff. Like, you can mess up or whatever if you consider it a mess up, like, a bajillion times. But all it really is just working to refine how your next thing will be that you undertake. So, any comics and stuff that I make right now, I probably see them as not really great compared to whatever I do next. Right now, that animation that I did of Party Crashers looks pretty good to me, but I'm sure compared to something else I'll make in the future, it'll probably not be that great. The 300-year-old Edward with his mountains and mountains of cartoons he has done. Oh yes, that was back in the day when that Vernius fellow was one of those Let's Players. Back when people did Let's Plays. There's so many great Let's Players that I've seen over the years, most of which are long gone now. Oh, to turn back time. Or really just be able to get access to those videos again. Oh. Hold on. I think I heard some... Oh, there's someone... Oh, it's Digital Leap. It's someone posting in the art section of the creative corner of the Discord. And let me see how this is going. Come on. Oh. Many great Let's Players that I've seen over the years, most of which are long gone now. Okay. Shut up, Edward. We'll get back over here. I was just checking for, like, the volume levels in the video and stuff. So, we'll raise the music a bit. Oh, hey, Jacob. We're just doodling stuff here. I was doing Taraga Dume from Bionicle. And then we were moving on to Doko over here and talking about projects and fan fiction and stuff like that. I've always wanted to make a book or like a story that's written, but every time that I end up wanting to make that, the further in I think into it, I just end up wanting to make a comic. So, like, I want to make a book, but then it ends up evolving into, well, I can describe it all, but if I draw the thing, then the audience will actually see the thing, and I won't have to describe it, and they will know what it's supposed to look like visually. So it always ends up being ideas for stories that never end up happening, because I want to make it as a book and end up stopping myself from making it as I end up wanting to make it as a comic. And it's just a bunch of unfinished ideas and stuff that never end up, like, getting turned into anything. Like, I got one for a virtual reality thing on a spaceship, one for an apocalyptic Earth that has, like, humans that have evolved into different, like, types of species and everything. All sorts of ideas that will never probably see the light of day. And Doko here, he is just living life and jumping through the air. I've thought of doing a book of my comic stuff before with Doko, but again, it always just ends up as, well, this is a comic, why don't I make the comic? And then it just becomes one of the endless sea of ideas for the comics I do make of him. There we go. He's all happy and smiley today. A stark contrast from when I was fighting the Claw a few months ago. Such a bloody fight. Maybe he sees a flying sushi roll or something. Which I can just doodle right here. Oh, all you members of the Edwardian army. If only you could be here, I could take you to the sushi place down the street. We'd all gather and discuss our plans for internet domination. Iron Mouse would stand no chance against the future Edwardian Empire. All the VTubers of the land shall work for us. What I should see about is trying to get the old Edward, little Edward that hung out in the corner of the screen here and would actually talk to the audience up and running on this computer. I'd have to get the program that runs him, though. Yeah, it's not the greatest Doko in the world, but for just some doodles on a stream, it should be alright. Oh, a sushi-filled weapon would be amazing ammunition, Jacob. All the onigiri, the ebi, tamago. Oh, how my lips crave it. If it were a video game, I probably would have a level that would, like, focus on sushi. Maybe the restaurant that Doko went to in the previous issue. Oh, I think I've seen that lore book for Invincible at the bookstore, Daniel. And there is certainly a ton of stuff to make a book about when it comes to the lore of my universe. As you well know, and as you well do not know, of various things I have yet to tell the audience. But yeah, if I were to make one of those books, that would be like huge spoilers for things that haven't been revealed yet. Let me see here. What is a lore thing that I can find on my comics? Oh, how's about this? I think Daniel's pretty familiar with this, but this is the gigantic base of the evil aliens that destroy our society, our time period in the timeline of my comics. The comics themselves take place in 2300s or something, but our societies get wiped out during the 2010s and 2020s by these things. And it's a horrible, horrible event. Cincinnati is the first city that properly gets destroyed. Or is properly targeted, I would say. Cincinnati, Ohio. Oh, and here is some of the battles for the Civil Wars in the probably late 2100s, maybe the 2200s. Mainly it's between, well, this battle would be between the Dakul Knights and the Activators, which is two different factions of that time period. Horrible stuff. Every era has its own complications. Yep. And, here would be the leader during the 2100s, Mistress Mechanica. And, she was one of the members of this old team of heroes, which were the Freaks, which is who the Claw from my latest comic was with back when he was younger. That team is who he was a part of. And of the team, there's Barbot, the one that I was saying had eyes that were like this, the Krillin eyes. And of course, their classic villain, King Shadow. That's just a little insight into the vast lore of the hundreds of years that my comic, well, not the comics, that all the stuff in my comics universe covers. And this is Doko, who is the hero of the comics, which is the current time period I've been working on. Come on, Doko. Gotta select you so I can shrink you. Can't have you taking up the entire page up here. Maybe a tiny bit tinier. There we go. And now I can't see my cursor. That's not a good thing. Okay. Well, apparently I'm grabbing Doko. Alright, there we go. Why can't I see... Okay, I can see it now. As long as I can see it while I'm working. Yeah, there's Doko with his sushi. Ding. And Edward with his olive oil, sea salt, rustic crostini. Not sure what that is, but it's tasty. Traditionally made in Italy, with extra virgin olive oil. Artisan, baked in Italy, toasty and sturdy. Whatever. These are giant feet. I don't know why I gave him that big of feet. And turned off the music by accident. Well, let's switch over to a Mega Man track over here. Oh, no. Don't do that. Stop it. There we go. Alrighty. Now on to Trail on Powdery Snow. Which I guess let's do a little snowboarding guy here then. I had these these enemies thought up for my Xenohunter video game idea. They would obviously be in the snowy area of the game. It would have... Their area, since it's like a Metroidvania in that game, in Xenohunter, that area, if you traveled to it, would be like this giant mechanical area that's like frozen over with the super refrigerated cooling machines that are in the area. So it'd be like mounds of snow and stuff covering the machinery that these guys would sled down. And if you tried to hit them with like your arms and stuff, they have like this disc that they ride on as a sled that they would pop up to use as a shield. You'd have to like whip it out of their hands before you whip them with your arm to kill them. But it'd just be this endless army of these guys just sledding down the slopes and you trying to survive as you look for treasure throughout the area. Xenohunter being a treasure hunter and all. Or a space pirate, more aptly. He is... the queen of the space pirates in my stuff is Queen Loris, who was sort of a tribute to the various villains of Dragon Ball. So she has like a Frieza helmet and Frieza horns and stuff, but then she has sort of Cell kind of wings and everything, and then a Majin Buu belt. Yeah, she's like this. That's not how the lipstick goes. I think it's just one lip that has lipstick. But that's basically what she looks like. And Xenohunter does not follow her. He's just a space pirate that doesn't really align with any faction. He's just looking for treasure is all. As a pirate is wont to do. Io, and all that. Io, dreamin'. Oh, 4Kids. Why does... I don't know how 4Kids stayed in business with the stuff they did. And there would absolutely be a cameo of, like, the Dreamscape comic characters of my stuff in Xenohunter. You could find them, like, if you... There would be restaurants you could go to refill your health, and at random you would, like, see different characters from different things that I've made eating there. And some of them could be, like, Doko and Mech and Tesley that you'd find there. Don't know if you could talk to them, but you could find them. To get one of the treasures in the game, you would, like, have to sneak behind the counter that the, like, cashier cook guy works at and get beaten up by him. And if you do that enough times, he'd, like, throw you out and then throw a treasure out behind you that you could collect. You'd have to collect all the treasures to fully complete the game, but you could get at least 1 or 2 endings without getting all the treasures. There was, like, a good ending, a bad ending, a great ending, things like that. This sled is way too big, because these sleds are supposed to go on these guys' backs, like Ninja Turtle shells when they're not in use. And they have to sort of kneel down behind them when they use them as shields. And I think this is just going to be, like, too big of a shield no matter what I do with how, like, spread out its legs are. But I don't really care, do I? Let's see if I can get some stuff from Xenohunter over here. Let's see. Retro Rework, Amphibia, Inktober, Lester's Adventures, Miscellaneous, Resident Evil, TV Demon, Sketches, Xenohunter, there it is. Alright, where is he? Oh, well, here's a bunch of enemy ideas that I had for Xenohunter. Yeah, these were just... Sometimes over the years I've just come up with various ideas to eventually put into the game when I actually work on it. I've gotten a few animations made of it before, but no program to actually put things together in. Oh, and I guess for a big scope of my stuff, here's like an old picture I did of a ton of the villains from my, like, comic universe. Professor Velderoth, Baron Gearwick, Professor Screwloose, Master Rasker. I have done an animation of Master Rasker before on the DeviantArt. There's the final boss of Xenohunter, Klendok, the space dragon. And then, of course, my comic villains over here. Oh, you can see Jake and Amy down there. They're like the ancestors to these characters. These two in the corner. They both, like, both of those teams fill the failure villain role, pretty much. The Team Rocket Jack Spicer of the series. Which, yeah, I guess that gives me something else to do. I'll do Amy here. Angel Amy. A complete moron alongside her boyfriend, Jake Diabolical. Oh, that's why I didn't realize the coloring was like a gray-black that I'd been using instead of a full black. Amy here always... I made her up back, like, I think in 1998 or 9. And I gave her these eyes that are completely different from, like, any other character. Where they're just these big eyelashes, pretty much, that make up the eye. And then you draw the pupil. And then she has these bangs that come out from her forehead. And that's pretty much the standard design. Make this jiggity-jaggedy kinda thing to put the hair on. Separate the hair from the face. And then flow the hair down like this. There we go. Angel Amy. I did have ideas for making, like, an animation that I would pretend is, like, a Let's Play that I'd be playing of Barbot's old game. And at one point, Barbot would have gotten fed up with me controlling him and walked off, so I would have brought Amy in to be the character I played as. It'd take way too much work to do that type of a series of videos, but I would love to get the chance to do that at some point. It was kind of how I planned to show the first adventure of my stuff, which the first game is Barbot, is what it is. Oh, right, and she was like the big boob character of my old stuff. So she has gigantic tits. That's not rounded down enough. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. Wow. Again, don't really know how well the music can be heard, but I can hear it. Yeah, she is a space pirate that fell from space after another pirate attacked her ship and killed the rest of her crew and family and stuff. And then she ran in, well, Jake Diabolical found her because he was like passing by in this giant airbase that he lives on. And she was going to like fall into this lava that got exposed from a crack that the ship had fallen in when she crashed. And so he brought her on board his ship, and they just lived together ever since. Oh yes, if you see the name as being a connection, Jacob, then Jake Diabolical would probably be a evil correlation to you. Although I am fairly certain you are smarter than Jake Diabolical. Him and Angel Amy are kind of complete morons. They literally joined King Shadow from a Help Wanted ad that King Shadow put out for, like, henchmen / assistants. Which basically just means people that go in and just put up, like, whatever he has planned to set up in mining facilities and bases and everything that he creates. And obviously that leads them into conflict with the heroes in that time period. And always leads to the heroes just beating them up and tossing them aside, pretty much. But they keep coming back. That's how those kind of characters are. They'll get beat up constantly and be back in the next episode. And their son plays a major role in the wars that take place in the two 2010s and 2020s. A Make-A Diabolical. Him and his sister grow up during the era where the aliens are destroying our world. Yeah, that whole event sort of causes the villains and heroes to have to work together during that time period. Otherwise, the entire world is gonna be destroyed. A villain is usually only a villain under circumstance. If the world that they live on is in danger, and they're like a big villain that has a lot of power, chances are they're going to work with the heroes so that they can survive and have a world to take over after. Jake and Amy have no real care for taking over the world. They just help King Shadow, because that is their role. Yeah, Jake and Amy always used to have this thing where they would, like, complete each other's sentences, but they would do it wrong. So they'd, like, it'd be like, oh, I'm going to play that Game Boy because I love that Game Boy. Instead of that, it'd be like, oh, I'm going to play, and then the other would say, that xylophone. And then the other would say, because I am a great person. They just, like, get completely lost in the whole thing that they were trying to say to start with. I don't know how well that would translate into, like, how like dialogue would be in a video game. But that's how they always used to talk when I would make things up of them. They wouldn't do that all the time, it's just sometimes they would try to finish each other's sentences. They are on the, like, same wavelength when it comes to their brains. They are absolute idiots. Dun, 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 dun. And there they are, the original Diabolic Angel duo. Queen Loris ends up hating them, the space pirate I talked about for the Xenohunter stuff. There's the Diabolic Angel symbol, pretty much a heart with 2 horns on either side of it. Yeah, we'll make it that small. Not the best Amy I've ever done, but it'll do for just a batch of sketches. Yeah, Jake Diabolical's, technically father actually had some connection to the aliens that end up destroying our time period. But that was... he never really knew his father. He pretty much lived as an orphan for as long as he could ever remember. Let's see, how long have we been streaming? Oh, we have gotten over the hour mark, it looks like. Alright, well, let's see here. Whilst I think of things to potentially draw, I'll look through some things over on the internet side of things. Let's see here. Oh! This... yeah, not that. Let's see, where was he? Here he is! This was the warden of Xenohunter. When you would go, you could sometimes get caught by security robots and thrown in jail. This guy was like the corrupt warden that ran the jail. I made this little, this version of him for like the soundtracks I used to put on YouTube here. And there is the jail theme on YouTube if you look for it, but I put that up years and years ago. This was always one of my favorite pieces that I made for Xenohunter. Just, I love that piece. That was the first time I really tried to use sponges for shading the objects with. Because, like, I take a sponge and cut it up, and then I dab it in acrylic paint, and dab that over the areas that I wanted to shade on the objects through stencils that I would cut out so that the paint would not get anywhere else besides where I wanted to put it. It was always a really interesting way to do it. I kind of planned for Xenohunter to be a showing of a very artistic side-scroller. Just every background was supposed to be a hand painting. And I guess on the subject of hand painting, this is where Master Raster lived, which is the planet TV Hell. He would have been the villain of a 3D platformer series, and TV Hell would typically be the final level for, like, the first 3 games, I think. It's essentially this planet that's been completely cyberized by Professor Screwloose, and the top part here is where the that's where, like, the final battle would happen. The interior of the planet is filled with, like, TV wraiths and stuff, which are, like, cyborg demon things. And the TV demons, they basically send out drones from here to sap energy from different planets so they can increase their reception for watching shows on cable and stuff on. They're very lazy, but very dangerous villains. I actually recorded some lines of audio for Master Raster. It's not exactly what I would do for, like, the final game, but it was my voice that I was using to just get an idea for what he'd sound like. Here was all the headshots for the dialogue boxes that I came up with for Xenohunter. You had Shasa, the officer woman. There's the warden. Bounty Brain. That's Energizer before I redesigned him. He was just kind of a throwback to Earthworm Jim. And then here's various inhabitants you've come across in Xenohunter. A lot of these plant people, and there's Skull Kid 3 down there, my old Let's Player friend on YouTube here. His Endless Ocean Let's Play is probably the biggest thing he ever did. Okay. I should probably get back to doodling, since that's what the stream here is about. Oh, the TV demons mainly just gather up energy, Daniel, for, like, watching shows themselves, increasing their broadcast range so they can get shows from other galaxies and stuff. They pretty much leave all the planets that they steal energy from without power, so they're just in the dark and everything. And that's sort of what the focus of the game would be on, is collecting power that's been, like, scattered throughout those worlds and stuff, or that's being housed on those worlds from the drones that the TV demons collected. The guy you play as, his planetoid that he lives on is like a victim, the latest victim of their energy-stealing endeavors. I think I got I definitely got a picture of him. Let me just go to the main gallery. Let's see here. Come on, get to the end. There we go. Featured, and then Capper. I think that's what I call him. I didn't really know what to name him, because I always just referred to this guy as, like, the hero of the game. So, I had a few people back in high school suggest names, like, I think one was Captain Thunder something, but I just ended up going with Capper eventually, because obvious reasons. He was supposed to be a very cartoony type of hero, where he'd be very expressive, his eyes could come out as binoculars, and when he's asleep, he keeps his eyes in a jar of water to keep them fresh and stuff. There is Master Raster, his main enemy. And there was this fangirl of his that was like spying on him from a nearby moon that she's stationed on that you wouldn't see until the third game. But she'd like be watching the adventures throughout the entire series until you meet her. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, well, I'm sure those puppets would be right at home there, Jacob. Master Raster, I kind of designed him as sort of just the encapsulation of everything I thought would be scary to a child, which was giant glowing red eyes, and razor-sharp teeth, and an exposed brain and everything. That's pretty much the look of the TV demons. And they all had, like, names that related to computer terms. So, Master Raster is obviously Raster Graphics. His sister was Mistress MPEG. Their father was Don JPEG, who was, like, had the Mafia boss type look to him. And he'd also, like, you'd have a boxing match with him when you met him. And I forget what the baby's name was. I think there was one called U-Tube, which was like the letter U and the word tube. And he'd have like a music boss fight with just sort of sending out sound notes that you would fight and stuff. But those siblings of his wouldn't show up until the third game. Throughout the first two games, it'd just be Master Raster. And then he'd be joined by Screwloose in the second game. You end up dropping Master Raster into this vat of dendrite at the end of the first game and shooting him into space. So by the time of the second game, when he's retrieved by Screwloose, his body is like completely deteriorated and mutated at parts and stuff. Ow. I have been sitting here too long in one position. Yeah, always give villains this under-eye blackness to make them look more evil. And then he has these, like, goofy antennas here. Ding. But yeah, the TV demons, they're like the size of buildings. They're easily, like, the largest villains I ever had in my stuff. They, I think Master Raster is like 2 or 3 stories tall. Which, for those that don't know what a story is, it's basically a flight of stairs, getting from one floor of a building to another. So he would, like, he could, like, sit on a petrol station or a gas station or something. That's how big the TV demons are. Figured it'd make for exciting final boss fights. He was going to have a cameo in the starting comic of, like, Lester's Adventures that I'd sketched out a page or two when I was younger. I may have put it up on DeviantArt, but, like, he would be managing the cable for Baron Gearwick, who's the main villain in the Lester stuff. Baron Gearwick is always trying to take over the planet of Petal, and that stuff was all intended to be more of a kid-focused series, either of comics or video games. As with everything I do, my ambitions are always too big for me, but there are always things I intend to do at some point. I actually drew up concepts for Petal Petal in the latest sketchbook I had that I worked on that latest comic in. Which I've always had ideas for Petal Petal, but I've never had like anything that was solidified, I don't think. And we'll shrink down Rasker, but he's still gonna be bigger than others because he is a big boy. Just clear up some room here. There we go. Down. And since I talked about him, I guess I'll throw in Gearwick here. Yeah, Baron Gearwick. I actually made Baron Gearwick while my parents were watching, what was it? It's that movie that's the Christmas movie where the poor family father and the rich family father get thrown into jail together at the end. And at the end, the rich family guy realizes that money isn't everything. It's a black and white movie. I should know the name, but I can't think of it right now. But I made the first ideas for Gearwick when I was younger, and they were watching that, I remember. Well, not younger, but back in high school. And he's basically a bomb with legs. If he gets mad enough, the fuse on his head lights up and he explodes and goes rocketing off into the distance. I think I planned for there to be a couple of side-scroller games of his and Lester's. Lester is like the hero of the series. He's sort of the town hero of the town he lives in on Petal Petal. You know, with all these characters, most of them are mine, except for this guy here. And even him is a design that I had made up myself for him. So I haven't been having to look up anything for these characters I'm drawing. I've just been able to draw them. And then he's got these thin legs. It's basically a round body on top of a thin pair of legs. And there we go. There. And that's a pretty poor glove. I had orange gloves, orange nose, and orange eyebrows. And then his body was blue. And like Bomberman, he can just like materialize bombs out of nowhere as an attack. Yeah, he led a team that had very basic sounding character names. He had like Professor Cyborg as his main scientist guy. Commander as the commander of his forces that he led. And then, who was the bartender? It was this, like, tentacle girl. I can't remember her name right now. But that was, like, the main villain team. Yeah, and then he's got just these circular feet on top of these stick legs. There we go. Alright. That's the basic look of Baron Gearwick. There he is, staring into your soul. And then this is like a cape he has back here. I remember years ago I made a picture of him and King Shadow together, and him talking about like how he has the better cape. Yeah, kind of would be more of a superhero-y type thing if he had nicer, kinder eyes and stuff. Oh, I haven't saved this at all. Doodling's 13, I think. I'll go with 13. There we go. Let me see here. Oh. Well, here's just one of my favorite pictures I ever did, which is Professor Monkey for a Head from Earthworm Jim. Yeah, he's one that I never cared for in the cartoon as much as in the games. Because in the games, he was always like this, where he was proportioned with a smaller body and everything. And this giant, expressionful head. But this is one of my pictures I love that I made. But that's not who I was looking for. I haven't done many pictures of... Well, I haven't put up many pictures of Gearwick, but there are some of them on here somewhere. Oh, this was like an idea I had for the final battle of the game idea I had back in 2012. You'd be fighting on board his space station thing. Here's Lester up here. He can, like, shoot electricity out of his antenna and stuff. Then you just, like, blow up the bombs he would be shooting at you. That's obviously a mech that he's inside of. Yeah, just one of my various villains. Ugh, ow, ow. Stretching, stretching. Okay, okay. Now I'll take another bite of this stuff. Let me see what all I got over on YouTube here. Alright, let me see. Memorable water levels in video games. Nope, not that. Where is something good? Side scroller. Oh, that looks interesting. Let me... Oh, what's that? Sorry, I'm just looking through some things for a second. What is this? 2 years ago. Alright, I will switch things over to the YouTube side of things, then take a look at there we go. Nope, not that one. Now I have to reposition that. Come on, there you go. Okay, take that out, and it's still grabbing that. Here, thank you. That's what I was trying to do. Yes, we all know this is the track that I was playing for the audio here, which I have now turned off. But we will regain sound, do not fret. We will not regain this sound, though, because well, that's not what I was trying to do. Let me go back, YouTube, and side-scroller indie. There. Where was it? It was some red panda-looking thing. And scroll down, scroll down. Well, it's made me lose what it was now. So, let's instead look at this, I guess.
Lucky. Whatever
this is. Replaced the official reveal trailer. Hopefully, let's turn up the audio a tiny bit. Of course, we have our wonderful friends at IGN here. Oh, it's Microsoft. Side-scroller. Oh. Okay. This looks spooky. Very spooky. That's, bit of technological stuff. Oh. This looks like sort of out of this world, with the close-up and the blocky graphics on the face. This looks like somewhat of a depressing world. Can't mute off the screen. Down. Well, it looks like some dystopian thing. That don't look good. Hotel. Oh dear lord. Well, they certainly got some good music for it. Replaced. Okay, well, that came out a couple of years ago. Not sure what it is, but it looked interesting. Apparently Power Guy is doing Blaster Master. Mario RPGs, Angry Video Game Nerd, Sonic Adventure. Yeah, not seeing too much over here. Yeah, one horror game that I always wanted to try was this one over here. It was always... I always wanted to make a horror game that was like a side-scroller, because I'd never seen anyone do it. That's kind of what Final Evolution, my idea for that, was for. But this is like the first side-scroller survival horror that I ever saw anyone make. At least as far as I know. It was always rather creepy and pretty cool in, like, the pixeliness, what all they were able to make with that limitation. Although there is one that is, like, even more primitive, like, graphically, that I eventually came across. It kinda makes me think of Silent Hill. Ooh. Unfortunately, you will not be seeing Edward play this, because there is no way to play games on this computer without things are set up on this one. And if I did play it, that probably would not really get far, because I don't know the game, really. But the other one that I always thought of when it was like a side-scroller video game for survival horror was this one, which is even more primitive looking. Yeah, if that was like Super Nintendo, this would be Atari. It's more detailed than that, but it's like so blocky and stuff that it's more on the level of the Atari type material. Oh, well, there's many things that beat out Sonic Forces and stuff, Jacob. That is not the hardest thing to do. Oh, and in this game, you can actually have things happen differently. Like, if you know things from previous playthroughs and do something to stop what you would not know is going to happen otherwise, it can lead to some interesting things happening. Well, there's the Fat Day security guard. No, but when it comes to Sonic Mania, Jacob, that is like some of the best stuff when it comes to Sonic. And these little things here were always so much fun to see. Oh, it was a magical time when this stuff was coming out, actually having, like, the effort you would want to see for Sonic in the modern day. Didn't really care for, how they connected things between this and Mania and Forces with the, like, Ruby whatever, but this was always lovely to see and experience. Even without voices, it is so cute and it's very well animated. Probably better than any cartoon they've ever done, like, animation-wise, Sonic. Of course, you got the Dr. Eggman little troll thing. That's not Dr. Eggman. Get the hell off my screen. Yeah, all the expressions and stuff they do in this are just great. Oh. Yeah. Not much effort Eggman gave there. And I always loved how they had the old logo of the Eggman Empire on the little things at the base of the traps. Like if you look towards the ground. Oh. Yeah, the EG symbol down there. Oh. It almost sounded like it was going into the old Disney Robotnik theme, the da 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 da. Nope. Not really sure how that would work, but as long as it's for the comedy of the scene. Yeah, here comes metal. Oh. Yeah. Hey, it's me, ya boy. Figure this out, nerd. Well, this is pretty self-explanatory type of technology Eggman is using. Well, there he is. At it again. Okay, now if this were Mystic Cave Zone, this would be kind of a bitch to deal with, but, well, it still is a bitch, it looks like. Well, wasted one life. Now you do it with the partner mechanic from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Tag team them. Oh. I guess in Sonic 2 you can control Tails if you get 2 controllers. And it's awesome how they use, like, the actual in-game sound effects for these animations. Oh. Nope. This Sonic 3 and Knuckles mechanics, they actually can carry him. There he goes. Yeah, it was always humorous how he would get, like, the ash all in his face and stuff when the cockpit would blow up in the old games. Well, he's kinda dirty there now. Oh, there's one of the Sonic 3 monkey robots. And the, forever patsy of Eggman Knuckles. Kinda convenient he landed right next to the, Is that the tornado? I don't think it is. Actually, yeah, I think it is. Oh, well, this shows it's right after Sonic Mania. Oh, well, we got a character that has not been seen ever since the arcade game of Sonic. Hello. Get the hell off my island. Yeah, they did have a lot of fun with those wanted posters during the 2010s. First with, like, Fang and Sonic Generations, and there goes Ray. Thankfully he's a flying squirrel. Well, gotta be on guard. Oh boy. Now, these guys first appeared in Sonic 3, but I always remembered the ones from Sonic Advance the most. They look the coolest, the cyan ones. Ow. Well, what'd you expect, Knuckles? You took your eyes off it for 2 seconds. Well, that must be Sonic, because it has his name, even though he saved this object and the world from Eggman numerous times. Yeah, he's just really obsessed over that emerald. Well, yeah, I guess it makes sense that they would be together since they were in the arcade game, though I always think of Mighty being with the Chaotix. It's kind of odd they don't ever really acknowledge that. Oh, here he is, the Boba Fett of the series, the cool guy that doesn't have much depth. Till you get to Sonic Heroes, then he's a lot better character-wise. Oh. Well, that's using your abilities. I don't remember the strength being as emphasized with him in, like, Chaotix or anything, but it does make Mighty stand out, just punting his friends across the yard. Oh. Oh, ow. And this... not much choice. He is a cold machine that will kill people if he wants to. There he goes, off into the stratosphere. Yeah, they do get down the speed and everything, the booming effects and all that pretty great in these animations. Oh, and of course Eggman has a base in the shape of his face.
This is crazy.
And of course we get another ad of a Disney movie I never saw, that I do not really care to see. Oh, there he is. Oh, they actually do a laugh for him. This is rather techno-y looking. Not really sure what the whole floating objects is about, but it helps to make it look all sci-fi-y. Ow. Oh, well, there's the game over screen. Well, the first time Metal ever goes super. And, not the first super Sonic robot. Oh. Well, let's just interrupt our little confrontation. Whoa. Yep. It is so good that they used this music track for this fight. Arguably the greatest final boss music for, like, a normal mode in a Sonic game. Not sure how well it could stand up to, like, Live and Learn or What I'm Made of, but it's amazing. Ooh. It's kind of odd to actually see Eggman's eyes there. I forget what his eye color is in 06. I remember Maria's is blue, though. Oh! Well, not going to get the chance to do what Mecha did. Well, see you guys later. Don't know why you're here, I'm just here for the emerald. No. Oh no, Tails! I always love watching Sonic stuff when it's good. Unfortunately, that is nowhere near as prevalent of the stuff that is not good of Sonic. Either way, though, he's always more interesting than Mario to me. Alright. Guess I should get back to the other stuff that was happening. Just a nice little break from the Doodles for a bit. And since we were on Sonic Mania, let's get something from that game for the music this time. Alright. Sonic Mania. Let's see here. Green Hill. Chemical. Oh, well. How's about the standout track of the newer levels in that game? Oh, okay. Never mind. As per Jacob's suggestion, let us go to Press Garden. Here we go. Blossom Haze. Alright. Hopefully you guys can hear the music. Alrighty. Well, we are all set with our music. Now back to the canvas. And with this music... How's about we do, Sonic in some Asian-y outfit. Well, when it's someone making a game, Jacob, sometimes they just want things a certain way. People of the audience can think things should be a way that they want, but what matters when it comes to the creation of the title is what the person making it wants. Perhaps they just thought Act 2 was more suitable for this track and Act 1 was more suitable for the other. Yeah, when was the last time I drew Sonic? Was it at Christmas? I think that might have been the last time I did Sonic. I know I've done Maria since then, with that whole jumping animation that I showed off earlier. Did that a couple of months ago. Yeah, in the Fleetway comics, they actually make a character out of the extra life you can collect in the TV monitors in the games. They do a lot of odd things in the Fleetway comics, but some cool ones also. And he has, let's make him classic Sonic. So he's got the round body. Traditionally, it's about the size of his head, I think. But since this is an Asian-y type of aesthetic we're going with, we'll put him in a kimono. Kimono's the Asian festive wear. Yeah, and since it's Sonic, we'll actually, well, we'll do a hand on the hip. And then just because people always associate it with him, well, first we're going to fix this robe here. There we go. Then because people associate it with him, we'll give him a chili dog. In the games, they never really do that until, like, Black Knight, but in the cartoons and stuff, they always had chili dogs. For some reason, I have no idea why they went with that food for him. But it's just what the American teens, I guess, thought would go good with him in the media. Traditionally made by Uncle Chuck. Personally, I probably would expect him to have like an onigiri or something, considering where he comes from, like where his games are made. But we'll do the chili dog just for iconography. And just give him 2 elongated eyes there. I have tried to animate Sonic every so often, but I usually lose interest because not sure why. Just feels like I should be spending my time on other things. Yeah, save that. Actually, when it comes to animation, could I... Let's see. Let's open this. Alright. And now... will this... Ah! It will do it! Okay. I can probably show off some of how I did the, Party Crashers animation here. Okay. Let's see here. Open... Party Crashers. Boo segment. Let's do dish. Will this work? Okay. And let's see here. I'll need to zoom out a bit. Hopefully this is, like, able to be seen. Okay, let's... No? No? Okay, it's not wanting to move. Whatever, I think we can work with this. There it is. Yeah. This is... I had, like, so many layers that I did for this. Can we... Nope, nope, don't do that. Okay. Yeah, in motion.
Okay, but why?
Let's...
Oh, you wanted to
There.
save it, Vernius?
Yeah, I wanna
Aw,
save it.
sometimes our plans don't go according to.
Then-
Okay, Vernius, wait. Vernius.
There it goes.
Let's talk
Syncs
about
up
this.
with it there.
I'm
Look.
listening. I'm listening. I'm listening, bro. I'm listening.
We're not the...
Yeah, I always have to break these up into different parts to animate each scene, like, on its own time frame. Because if I have it all jammed together, things will not flow right when I'm splicing the scenes together in the final product if I'm not, like... if I don't have extended versions of the scenes to work with to possibly cover an overlap and stuff. This is just showing how TC, Nick, and Vernius were done in this part of the animation. Come on, get it back into position. There we go. Now, this is really not wanting to cooperate with this computer. Yeah, what I did for Nick was always a tough one to do, because his beak was always going over lines and stuff. And so I would have to animate the beak on a separate layer over everything else. It was a lot of frames to do, but it turned out pretty nice from how the final product ended up. Yeah, remove Nick's, remove everything on Nick. And if you remove Vernius, who's in front of him, it'll, like, show that Nick's hand actually is there behind Vernius. You just can never see it in the final animation, because everything's in front of him in the final. Ding, ding, da-da-ding, ba-da-ding, ba-da-ding. Yeah, this is just a small snippet of how things were done in it. The longest part of the animation is like part 3, I think. Oh, well, hope you have a good day, Jacob. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope everyone else out there is having a good day as well. For those tuning in, we have been doodling, and then we saw some Sonic Mania animation, and now we are on some animation that I did this last month. Let's see here. Boo segment. Oh, this is where the whirlwind happens. And for those that do not know how I animate, I use a Macromedia Flash 2004, and I have to literally go in and draw every single millisecond of animation. It's 12 drawings that I have to draw in color for every second that goes by. And this part took a ton of work to do. I remember I colored it all in one afternoon for this little segment here, but like, I had to do a layer that went in front of Nick, as well as one that went behind him for the Boo. So like, this part of Boo, if you take... Oh, well, there's Nick's layer. So where's the one... Yeah, there. And then there's still the background part of Boo that is going behind it. Because if I just did it all on one layer, it would just all cover up Nick and you wouldn't be able to see him in the whirlwind. And then I made, like, double Nicks at parts and stuff to, like, simulate the idea that he is spinning around really fast, when if you pause it, it just makes these horribly warped looking images that make no sense when they're not in motion. But that's how you get all the super quick movements in animation, is to smear frame things. Oh, what is that pink one? Not that one. This one. There we go. Get that out of the way. And then... whoosh. Oh, we got rid of Nick's eyes there. Give him his eyes back. Oh, there's Vernius. Yeah, and I had to, like, go into GIMP and make different zoom in and zoom out, like, frames of the background that I would move over into this program and, like, adjust them slightly each time the camera moved. It's a lot of work to get the backgrounds moving when I do it, but it makes it look better. And now, let's see it all in motion, shall we? Da-da-da-da. Yep, there it goes. Oh right, I didn't even have sound to base this on, I just added in the effects afterwards, because no one's talking at this part. Yep. That is that. An 18-second part of the animation. Alright, well, I think we did all we really could there, so let's hop on back over to the doodling part. Ha 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 ha. Not sure what to draw here now. Kinda losing some steam with how long I've been on here sitting and doodling and stuff. Got some sort of spring thing here though. Maybe I'll make one of those black bean burgers I bought after I get off here. It's getting a bit late in the day, so I am a smidge hungry now. Dun, 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 dun. What track is this? Stardust Speedway. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go Lava Reef. My favorite track from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Well, my favorite level track. Da-da-da, right down, ba-down, ba-down. Yeah, da-da-da. What should I put on top of this spring? How's about we do a chair? Actually, this is the perfect thing to be piloted by Emperor Illuminator, the villain of my comics. One of the villains. A main villain. Certainly more of a threat than some of the others. But his little cockpit thing up here is a bit too small in comparison to the spring. So maybe we should chop the spring up a bit. Ya-da-da-do. Ya-da-do. Ba-bow. Ba-ba-bow-bow. Come on. What are you doing? There we go. Well, I hope this has given some form of entertainment to those that have stopped by. Gotten some insight into some of the creations and world of the things I work on. I know certain people always appreciate that when I bring it up in the Discord. And we'll have some guns on the cockpit over here. Just a springy, springy, explosive thing. Yeah, it's always hard not to just hum along to Sonic music. Sonic and Vector Man, they always have you covered in the catchy tune department. Now, if only they would make games of Vector Man, Mega Man. If only they'd make games of Vector Man, too. He's been needing it for a lot longer than Mega Man. But at least we got what we got. Come on, Capcom, make Mega Man Legends 3. I waited for that game for so long, and then they just cancel it. Never letting that go. Ever. That is a lifelong disappointment. I remember Retsupre had a theme that was based on this tune. You'd have to have been there in 2010 or something to have caught it, though. Always have to have this eye symbol for this eye horn symbol for Emperor Illuminator. It's on all of his contraptions and bases in some way. If not the symbol, then something that looks like the symbol. And then have him with his evil, angry eyes up here. Yeah, he's not the most expressive character, but the eyes of his helmet can change their brow shape to emote somewhat. Okay, gonna have to work a bit with this eraser is only... It refuses to let me modify it, so it's just this one single, circle instead of pressure sensitive. There's Illuminator, ready to kill someone with his latest contraption, and probably not succeeding, because Doko will destroy it. Mainly, he tries to target Doko over anyone else, because Doko is obviously the main threat for his force and stuff. Not really caring much how I do the, little flying machine here for him. Just enough to get down the idea that he's in some sort of cockpit thing. If it were one of the comic pages, I'd detail it more. And then just have some cartoony missile sticking out of the blocks over here. There we go. Yeah, some extreme proportions for these rocket launchers. There we go. And there we go. Okay, that's enough to get down the idea that he's in some death machine thing. And just for reference, let me look up Illuminator. Can I find his flying Eggmobile knockoff over here anywhere? Oh, there it is. I think this is the main time it really got shown in the comics so far. There it is! Right over here, and over in this panel you can see it. He's got these little propulsion muffler type things coming off the sides of it. Yeah. Just floating away after his defeat in the Illuminating Blockade issue. It doesn't feel like it's been that long since I made that comic, but I'm... Actually, how long? 2016 is when I made that. Oh my god. That's a bit of a ways away now. Well, time marches on. Oh, here's... You can see it kind of, sticking out of the top of the saucer thing over here. Now, this was, one of the images I made for Inktober a few years ago. Yeah, he's always up to no good with all his contraptions that he pilots. Oh, you can... This was always a kind of cool one to me. This spider mech one that he has the cockpit put into the top of. And then there's Doko, Mech, Tesley, and Sake. Everyone is in danger with Sake. This is probably the most detailed picture that you see of the villains. And if you look really close, you can actually see Emperor Illuminator's real eyes underneath the mask he wears there. Always thought this would go good for like a CD album cover or something. Alright. Well, I think I'm just about doodled out for now. So I'll probably color these up in the next day or so, then put them on DeviantArt. Or I can get started on coloring one here. Just a little bit. I am getting hungry. Let's get out our paintbrush. And let's go for a slightly yellowish green for Master Raster over here. If I were on the other computer, I could use like the pressure sensitivity and opacity, but here all I can do is just make one flat color. I'll have to go in with the airbrush later to like shade it and everything. Yeah, Master Raster, he's just the accumulation of everything that's creepy and scary from like just a child perspective, I think. Razor teeth, green skin, exposed brain, able to zap you with electricity. Let's change this music to the second act. There we go. The more mystic sounding lava reef. Shouldn't I be more zoomed in for this so I'm not potentially skipping over parts of the coloring process? I would say yes. You should absolutely be more zoomed in when coloring stuff, when it's different, multiple characters on one thing. Down here, down here. And then he had some blue for his armor. Down, down, down. Typically blue goes good with a hero character, but with all the colors on Master Raster, blue goes good as a contrasting color for like his red cape and green skin, yellow armor around the blue armor. Down here. Let's see, how... Okay, there we go. Well, for those that have been tuning in, I hope it hasn't been too boring for you if you're not used to my videos. I would play a video game, but like I've said, we don't have access to it here. If you want, though, I've played plenty of video games on stream before that you can look through the streams of. I loved playing through Mystical Ninja last year on stream. One of my favorite games ever. Technically, like, I think it was Mystical Ninja Gambare Goemon 4 or 5. The Dance of the Peach Mountain Shogun. It's just called Mystical Ninja starring Goemon over here in America, though. Oh, well, I'm glad you liked the stream, Daniel. At least there will always be one person that is looking forward to it. Yeah, actually, debating about using the calligraphy pen over the paint tool for the coloring. It allows me to do pressure sensitivity for the calligraphy pen, but for the normal paintbrush it doesn't. Not on this computer. On my normal computer I can do everything fine. But you guys will never get to see that, because it is way too out of date. Good old Windows 7, where I do all the production of the things you see that I put on the internet. And then the standard villainous red eyes. Although Doko has some red to his design, but that's in like the inner parts of his earpieces and boot pieces. For him, he carries the blue of a hero. Whereas the blue here does not go with the faction or alignment of the character's morals. Blue's always a more calm color than red. But since he's right here, let's fill in his red. It won't matter that I'm coloring over the areas, because I'll just end up covering them when I go over with the second color. Still don't want to, like, cover everything, though, with colors that aren't supposed to be there. But I can be a bit sloppy with the first colors that go down. As long as they don't color things that are supposed to be seen. And then will come the shading process. Mega Man, how I long for more Mega Man. Mega Man and Bass. That was a very, very difficult game. Never play Mega Man and Bass. Never play Mega Man and Bass, and never play Mega Man X6. They are insanely hard compared to the rest of the series, and absolutely not worth playing. I guess we can do Emperor Illuminator here since we're on yellow. Or gold. Yeah, I'm using the yellow mostly to highlight, like, the figure. It's more of the armor pieces for characters. Although Emperor Illuminator does have a yellow jacket that is not armor. He wears it because it goes well with his iconic coloring. We happy spring machine. And then he had gold on the top of his hover vehicle here. This part can actually, if you push down this top back part, it will open up. It's a trunk that he can store things in. And I guess we should probably make this part gold to go along with the coloring of his cockpit. Oh, and let's do Sonic while we're here. That's no good. This chili dog is way past cool. I am Jaleel White putting on an act. Now, when it comes to Sonic voices, I always like Ryan Drummond the most for the American stuff. The current voice can sound too much like just some guy at times. I know it's Chris Redfield's voice actor, but I can't remember. Roger Craig Smith, that's who it is. He's fine sometimes, but other times it's just doesn't feel right to me. Especially in like Frontiers, he sounds not Sonic-like to me a lot of times. But Ryan Drummond, I love his performance. I guess we don't really color anything else in blue, because the rest of what is here is like white, and then the tannish color for the body. Yeah, this. Which is a bit too tan, but I'll go with it for now. Any things that happen here can be obviously edited after the stream is over. That's a rather dark hot dog bun. Let's change that a bit. Yeah, that's better. Want a bit more gold brown, but whatever. What I desire is to be able to do streaming drawing videos with the control that I have when I draw in my sketchbook. That would be the dream, in which I'm not sure that I can do with like what I have. Alright, and now the chili, which people in Ohio here call cheese cones. I always just call them chili dogs. I do not originate from Ohio, but I have heard the term chili dogs all my life. Oh, and then Jake Diabolical and Angel Amy. The Diabolic Angel Duo. The original Diabolic Angel Duo. Yeah, Amy, she and Jake are the same age. And I always remembered what age they were because they were 1 year younger than me. These two dark, let's put his skin lighter. That's too light. Just cannot get a good skin color for him. No. let's do this. And maybe this. And this. Okay, this is good. It's better. It's good. Edward, just say it's good. Because you'll be here all day if you fixate on it. Then Amy, I'll just give her the same skin color. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, when I'm making characters, sometimes I'll just come up with, like, a skin color as an afterthought. The main design of the character, the line art, is what I usually come up with first and foremost about a character. And then as I'm making them, thoughts will form on, like, personality and stuff like that. Although, sometimes I'll have the personality thought out beforehand and draw the character to try and match the personality. But the actual coloring and stuff, while I sometimes have an idea for how the coloring will be, it's not really decided on precisely until I, like, put it down on paper. Usually in watercolor. And here I said I'd be coloring it later. I will be coloring it later because I do not think I can last for much longer here. I am hungry. But maybe we'll get Doko's blues down. Here he is, the bright, vibrant hero of the comic. Don't you love this commentary of mouth sound effects to go along with music? It is the highest form of commentating. Certainly better than anything, what's a good commentator? Anything that the Party Crashers could come up with. I'm sure I will be getting far more views than them with this kind of audio. What is my favorite image of Doko? I've done so many of him by this point, like, he is my most drawn character. Earlier in life, it would have probably been Barbot or something. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, I guess we ran out of music for the Lava Reef. And now we're on to a Sonic CD track that was remixed. I guess it's been a bit of a Sonic-y day here. Alright, we have this little sled guy and Baron Gearwick over here. I guess I could do Baron Gearwick real quick. The blue on him. Nah, I'll give up on him. I'm getting a bit too hungry, I think. Let me look if I can find a good image of Doko, though. I guess I put up a good one earlier with, like, what I think would go for a good CD album cover. Oh wow. Yeah, I've done a number of him. Dear Lord, this is like almost 700 pictures that have Doko in it. Yeah, no, this is too many. Oh. Well, this isn't necessarily a great one, but, here's a colored one of him. Oh, hey, Funky Horse, how are you doing? I am just... ouch. Been streaming doodling here for a few hours. Probably gonna get off before too much longer, though, because I'm getting a bit hungry. How's your day going? I guess since you just arrived, here is what all we have doodled. Let's get rid of the color so you can see it better. Got Taraga Dume, my comic hero, Doko Rapilzo, Jake and Amy, Master Rasper. Hello, Dumbo. Everyone's coming in now that I'm getting hungry. And Gearwick, Emperor Illuminator, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Oy, oy, oy. Ow, ow, ow. I showed off some of the animation stuff earlier that I had worked on of that Party Crashers animation. Let's see if I can... There we go! There's where it is. Oh, I've been okay, Dumbo. Mainly right now, I'm getting ready for Mom to visit, because she needs to come here and sell the place, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna go after that, what all's gonna happen to me, but I'm here for right now. Yeah, here was just some of the stuff that I worked on over the last months for that animation video I put up the other week. Yeah, Vernius and Nick. They're Mario partying. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, get that out of there. And back to here. And now we're just coloring some stuff until I can't take the hunger any longer and end up leaving to go get something to eat. Actually, let's see here. Go over here. Oh, it's a bit too squish. Come on. Nope, nope. Okay, never mind. I was going to go to the Discord, but it kind of just destroyed itself, so not heading over there. Oh, I did forget, as per request the last time for Jacob wondering what I look like, let's see here. Here, this is a picture that I took today. There I am. Me and my Earthworm Jim Doug to Naples shirt before heading out to get groceries earlier today. Walked back along the Wasson Way behind the high school. Yeah, I got this shirt from like, what was it? Was it the latest one, Bigfoot Bill 2? And, yeah, this is, this is me. This is Edward. If you ever wanted to know what I really look like. Although, let's be honest, we all like this Edward a lot more than the real one. Yeah, this may walk around calling itself Edward, but that's the real Edward. Yeah, so there is the Jacob-requested face reveal that I do not believe he is here for now, but which I can show off to him if he ever wants to see it again. Back to the important stuff, though. Here we go. But yeah, I'm probably gonna be getting off of here probably fairly soon. These little olive oil sea salt things are only tiding me over for so long. For those that have joined in later on in the session, if you want, there is like hours of footage here to go back through to see everything that was drawn and see all the videos we've looked at and, I guess, reacted to semi-ish. Jake and Amy always had, like, Amy always had a red shirt and Jake had a blue shirt. It kinda went along as sort of a partner contrast color scheme. Oh, BKB. And Jake has black hair, but if I fill that in, it's gonna be really hard to see lines and stuff, so I'm not gonna do that here. Amy's, however, is blonde. Yeah, I kinda wish that Sega would have let the people that made Sega Mania do what they wanted instead of doing all those levels from other games. Just make a whole game that was completely new levels. But it's modern Sonic Team, they're not going to let them do that. For some reason, they always have to reference Green Hill now. Even though they didn't do that until Generations. You could say they did it in Adventure 2, but that was an unlockable you had to go out of your way to find. Makes some sense for it to be that. But that's the rot of a franchise. Go on for too long, and then the people in charge just start seeing, well, this makes money, so this is popular, put that in. It was nice to get to see Chemical Plant, though, in Mania. So many effects and colors there. And yeah, Amy does not have whites to her eyes. It's just that skin color with the eyelashes and the pupils, and that's it. Oh, I forgot to do her arm here. I guess to go along with Amy's coloring, we'll do the heart horn symbol like that. Let me see. There we go. Alrighty, well, I think this'll just about do it for me. I'm kinda kinda drawed out and hungry and all that stuff, so, to everyone that has shown up and been a part of this, thank you. I welcome you to, return for future stuff. If you want, head to the Discord. The link is in the description. We would be happy to chat with you and hang out and all the blah blah blah. For now, I am getting off and probably making one of those burgers that I talked about earlier. So, you all have a great night and enjoy whatever meals you cook up. See you later. Bye-bye for now.